Welcome to the Rise Up Podcast, the show where we share the Thunderbird's eye view of our Yucaipa High. Each week, we sit down with students, staff, or community members to highlight the stories and celebrate the achievements from across our community that make T-Bird Nation soar. Now, get ready to rise up. All right, well, thank you guys so much for joining us. It's really exciting to have you here to be able to talk about some of the construction projects that we have going on today. For those people that don't know who you guys are, can you introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about what you do for our district?
Yeah, so I'm Dennis Klein. I'm the Director of Purchasing and Facilities. So I do a multitude of things. With the purchasing arena, I work with the instructional supplies for all the school, teacher supplies, resources, admin, athletic stuff. Facilities is construction and modifications.
My name is Adam Johnson, and I'm a coordinator to the maintenance and operations team, as well as custodial. On a day-to-day basis, we handle the work orders, anything that might come in from plumbing to electrical, HVAC. We also do a lot of in-house projects, whether it be, changing a room for a new teacher or a new class that might be coming in, to setting monuments in front of schools, pretty much everything. Yeah.
That's awesome. Your team was the one that actually took this set design from, pictures and photos to actually making it happen, actually doing the work, painting a room, putting the wood up, and it just looks amazing. So thank you for all that.
Yeah, absolutely. No, it was fun, to take an area that was used as something before and transitioning it into something new. It's really fun to have the vision and then be able to execute that vision.
Super happy, super thankful. So we're here today because one thing that Yucaipa hasn't really experienced in the past so much, but now we're experiencing a lot, is construction. Everywhere you look, every school campus is under construction, and you two are the ones that oversee all of that work, right? Talk about some of the things that you've done in your time here in the recent history, specifically at YHS. What are some of the things that have happened here that you guys have overseen and been a part of?
So since I've been here, I've been here 6.5 years. Shortly after I started in 2019, we totally redid the turf on the football field with the new logo. So it's consistent with the rest of the designs throughout the campus. So that was a big undertaking, as a big project when I came on. From there, we did the air conditioning in the gym and the locker rooms with Adam's team as well, with the monuments, and taking that dirt area and transitioning it to a welcoming thing with new sod.
That area has been dirt for 55 years, right? We've been on this property. This is our 55th anniversary this year. And it's been dirt forever.
It really wasn't really utilized. And during the HVAC project for the gym, which has been awesome, it was used as our construction laydown area. And so, once we completed that project, we really wanted to kind of put the finishing touch on that and transform it into a usable area. And it looks really nice too when you drive in. It was kind of an eyesore before, but now it looks really great. And setting the monument was a lot of fun.
Yeah, I think it's definitely something that every Thunderbird, present, past, future, can be proud of now.
Absolutely.
That's amazing.
Absolutely.
Thank you for all that work. One of the biggest things that we know it's going to be really nice when it's done, but we've been kind of inconvenienced with, is the softball field and the weight room project. We know the end goal is that not only are we going to have a great softball field and an amazing weight room, but we're also going to have a new and expanded training facility that goes into the old weight room. So it's kind of like a 3-for-2 project. It's been long, right? It's been a difficult process. We weren't sure if we were going to be able to pull off graduation, right? Yeah. So it's been challenging, but it's going to be so nice when it's done. Talk us through some of the details that go into moving a softball field or creating a weight room like that. I know for me, I didn't understand all the level of work. I thought we were just taking some grass and moving some dirt. And then all of a sudden they're digging 10 feet down, right? And
they are.
What is going on?
So the biggest piece on that was the design. And that was working with the architects to get things to look and get to the same caliber as we have with the varsity baseball field. So we have cohesiveness between the baseball and softball, but something for current and upcoming future students, right? So with that being said, when we touch something, we have to go to current codes with Department of State Architecture, which oversees it. And so we had to put in a fire lane. And so it had us shift the field east and north. And then that gives us the opportunity of having a real sidewalk. The visitors will have a warm-up pitching area where in the past it was shared on the home side between both teams. The 15-foot hole was due to oversaturation of soils from wells. So we had to mitigate that. And you don't see that from the top layer.
So you have to actually dig down and then compact the surface, right, to make sure that when you put the building on top or that it's not going to sink.
Correct.
Makes sense, but I totally didn't expect that coming in.
Nor did we.
Yeah.
To be fair, we did not see that one coming, but we tackled it with an old school or an old school site. A lot of the things aren't marked with tracer tape, so a lot of things get seen once we start digging, and that's been our biggest hurdle. Is every time we trenched, we would find things, or the contractor would find things, but it's going to look beautiful at the end of the day.
What's the timeline looking like for that?
We're shooting for the middle, hopefully end of August, to be completed with a lot of the construction, and then final tie-ins. It could go into early September.
Gotcha.
And there's a lot, there's even more that had to go on during this process, because we got to think about right away. We got to think about ADA access. So, which is a good thing, right?
Yeah.
In the big picture, we want to do it right. And so that's what we're doing. So sidewalks, they had to be redone. We had to create an access to restrooms. And so we're building a bridge over a ravine that's there so that we can have access to bathrooms, which is also going to be cool because it brings the stadium and the softball field and really the varsity baseball field all together. It ties it all together so everything's accessible. And then, we did diligence as far as getting utility companies out there to try to locate as much as possible. But as Dennis said, without tracer wire, you can't really locate those things. And so, you start digging in, you start breaking things, you start finding things that need to be replaced, and it's kind of like opening a bit of a can of worms.
There you go.
I mean, when all said and done, it's going to be fantastic. And I think for me, it's important that we always keep, the end results in mind as we're going through it. Is the end results are going to be fantastic. And that's really worth the wait.
Yeah, absolutely. And we'll feel that a lot longer than the hiccups.
Yeah,
right?
absolutely. And the bridge, is not just for the baseball and softball, but it's going to assist also with your home football games and graduation especially.
Yeah.
So it's gonna help the staff here and everyone have a wonderful time.
So there's some other things that are still on the horizon, right? I know right now we're in process with making an additional drop-off lane at the Sizzler lot. What does that look like?
Well, so we just started construction on it yesterday. And what's taking place is we have some existing asphalt. For some of us might remember that Sizzlers used to be right there. So there's an old foundation that we're doing some demo work on. We're doing some grading work, and then we got to put down a road base and compact it so that cars can drive on it and we can have good drainage for when it does rain. It will be all outlined in K-Rail with a lot of signage, so it should be pretty self-explanatory. And we're looking to get that done really quickly.
If you're coming down the boulevard, you'll be able to turn right into one of those inlets that's always been there, but they've been chained off. And they can come in, drop off right there by the field and pull right out. And then the kids will have a pedestrian-only zone and a safe way to walk onto campus and be right there, right by the office.
Correct. And the pathway will be designated by water-filled K-rails. And so it'll direct everyone where they need to go with the car traffic, and then the drop off, and then in coordination with the campus monitors, it'll be a safe drop off, which will alleviate the other main entrance, which will still have drop off as well.
Yeah. So it's not in lieu of, it's in addition to.
Correct.
Right. Which also should, in theory, help alleviate some of the traffic that builds up in that number one lane, I guess, on the boulevard.
We're looking at actually placing 3 additional staff in that area. One to manage the gate, making sure that the pedestrian zone is car free. Another one stopping traffic so everybody can come in, kids can get out safely and exit, and then allowing the traffic to move forward again. And then another one at the street, making sure that there's a safe crosswalk from the cars coming in. And so stopping the students while the cars are coming, stopping the cars while the kids cross, and keeping all of that flowing with the goal of minimizing the backup onto the boulevard.
As much as we can.
Yeah, because we know at times it goes all the way up to Vaughn's. Right, we've seen it go all the way back there. On a rainy day, it's gone all the way. So, so that'll be really nice to have another option in addition to our main lot and to the YAPS road as well. So 3 main drop-off locations and ways to access campus. So that'll help so much. One of the things that's coming, our solar project. I know solar's been a moving target at YHS. There's been like 25, I think, different plans for our solar. Where has that landed?
So the latest and greatest news that's currently in design, it will be in the main lot across from the tennis court, C lot, and it's going to be over most of the parking. But we're going to phase it so it doesn't have critical impact on the school site and the students and the drivers. So
so there's a plan in place to be able to minimize the impact. We know there's going to be one, but the most exciting thing is not just the solar, but what comes with it. Right. In addition to the solar, we've been able to get a grant to be able to provide that generator. Right.
Yeah.
How is that going to work, and how does that tie into the solar? And what would YHS feel like in the event that there's a power outage once all that system's up and running?
Like you said, we did get a grant to do that. And so if we can get all that to come together, it'll be tremendous for the high school, especially during, rolling blackouts, or when we have Edison shutting down power due to high fire potential, high winds or high heat. When power is shut down, you won't see a thing here. You won't even see a light flicker, and it'll continue. Additionally, the solar, is going to help us save some money and really just kind of take us towards that green energy.
Every dollar we pay for energy comes out of our general fund, right?
Yes.
So every dollar we save for energy goes right back to our classrooms. Right. So saving money really helps us be able to meet the needs of our kids moving forward. So it's kind of a triple win. I know when the power went out last year, we were running all sorts of generators and battery backups, powering each individual light. And so knowing that we're moving to a system that can power the whole site, that can be fed from our solar program, I think that in and of itself is worth whatever challenges we have with parking as we go through construction.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we really appreciate all the stuff that you guys do for our kids and for our schools every day. Our programs will be future proof because of the work that you guys are doing today. So we really value your contributions to our district.
Yeah, we appreciate it, and it's our pleasure to. At the end of the day, it's all about the kids.
Just the work that we do, knowing that we can create better facilities for the staff and the students, and really the future generations. It's really kind of a way for us to give back to the community. But in the benefit for us, it's also our career. So it's, it works.
It's a win-win.
Yeah, it's a win-win.
Thank you for taking the time to watch this episode of our Rise Up podcast. T-Bird Nation, no matter where you are in your journey, remember, the view gets better the higher you climb. Keep rising up, T-Bird.